Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well and I hope you're staying safe. Today, we have got the Ice Shards and Meat Skewer build, and let me tell you all, this has been picking at my brain for the past week. Here's the thing, right, and I uploaded a couple of my deaths in my attempt to do this run. One of them kind of had the little shruggy emoji and the other one had a cat crying in the thumbnail, and I died through these really kind of once in a blue moon type of deaths. And then I had a couple other runs where I died through much more legitimate means. And it was just one of those things where it was just kind of eating at me because I knew that this was a really, really strong build. But either my playing was bad, or I would be too reckless, or something would happen that would make me just kind of lose the entire run at once. And so I wanted to get this win on camera for you guys, and I wanted to talk about the run, and we finally were able to do it a couple days ago, and it felt so amazing. And so that's what this video is about. This is me talking about this run, basically what got me the win, and how we were able to do it, what we picked up along the way, and the friends we made along the way. So if this is your first time on this channel, I like to do a lot of Dead Cells guides, runs, 5BC post commentaries, and live commentaries. I also talk about other aspects of the game. I just put out my 2.0 review, and I've got a Dead Cells podcast called Chaos and Chill, and the next few episodes are coming out in the next few days. Other games I play are Skull the Hero Slayer and a couple other random roguelikes that I like to find. And I've got a video game review on a game called This Is Not a Game coming out soon. I'm pretty excited for it. So if any of that interests you, feel free to hit the subscribe button and turn on the bell for notifications, and let's do this. So we're going to be starting off in the prisoner quarters, and it's just move, kill, move, kill. And it's funny because prisoner quarters is one of those levels where I usually try and take the time to assess the build and see what's working, what's not working, and then make changes from there, even on custom mode. But since I've already done this build 5 times, I figured, okay, I already know kind of what I'm doing here. And even on the first time prisoner quarters was doing this, because Meat Skewer just kills these rats instantly. And so in Toxic Sewers, I decide to take the initiative mutation. Yeah, the skew doesn't do a lot of damage, but my thinking was I want to take out these buzz cutters as soon as possible, because I don't really have much of a way to hit them. Melee attacks tend to kind of struggle against buzz cutters, so it's good to take something like initiative that can beef up your damage a little bit, because buzz cutters don't go down in one hit. You can just see me clearing out mobs. I have not taken any hits yet, and that is going to continue with this elite. Meat Skewer does give you iframes on the skew, which is extremely beneficial. And the way that it will work with the Ice Shards is essentially you slow down these enemies, giving you more time to skew, and then get some of the hits off and get those crits off. And after that, you're pretty much set and you're good to go from there. At some point, I will be picking up a Meat Skewer with the slowdown affix, which is 30% extra damage to slow down enemies, as well as the inflammable oil, because it's a pretty common affix to get inflammable oil. It was just a matter of me getting that 30% slowdown to enemies. Now we're in Corrupted Prison and we get the curse, and more the same. And the first tough enemy we're really gonna experience is the Slammer, because the thing about Meat Skewer is that it has extremely good breach. It's able to hit enemies and then stun them for a very short amount of time, which allows me to get those crits off. But Slammers actually don't get stunned in this game, so that's just something that I have to watch out for during this process. But we're able to clear off the curse pretty easily. Ice Shards is doing a fantastic job, especially with those crits. And we're just moving on. I'm just kind of playing it safe right now because you do take a lot of damage in this biome. I just want to make sure, okay, like, even if I take a hit here, it's not going to be devastating, and I just want to be able to move on here and then recover and do things like that. And that's actually what's going to end up happening in this challenge rift, which I actually saw for once without having to traverse back through the entire level after completing it. And one of the things about challenge rifts, and I always say this, is make a decision and then just go, because if you hesitate while you're moving, you are absolutely going to get hit, and if you don't get hit, it means that you were lucky. So I'm just trying to think about what I want to do and then time it perfectly. Obviously, you know, you don't bat 100 when it comes to these challenges, or 1,000, I should say. 100 would actually be 10% if you are into the baseball analogy, but in terms of challenge rifts, again, you're going to get hit at some point. Minimize the amount of hits that you take. You're going to make mistakes. It's a long spike pit. No one's perfect. The thing is, you want to only at most take 2 hits. Here, I do take a hit. I mistimed my roll pretty badly here. I should have waited. I got a little impatient because I wanted to clear it and just keep killing these baddies. Mistake on my part, but that's why you keep playing this game. It's because you learn how to better your craft each time. And I can't stress that enough. It's very important to be able to recognize that, hey, like, you know, I've beaten this game a few times or several times in my case, but there's always things that you can learn. And having failed this build 4 consecutive times, there was a lot to learn before I would get this final win. Anyways, now we're going to the Ancient Sewers. This is one of my favorite levels in the game. I love like the maze aspect of it. I'll talk about why I love Ancient Sewers in a future video, but I like the kind of maneuvering around and deciding what enemies do I need to prioritize, what do I need to do, how do I need to move around, aggro certain enemies, especially these impalers. These impalers, getting past them is one of the, if not the most important parts of trying to clear out this biome. And so what you really need to prioritize is making sure that they use their attack on a place where you're not going to be. I do get hit by the failed experiment. That was just bad positioning on my part, and because I messed up the jump, then I got hit by a couple bombs, but I had a lot of health at this point. That is going to dissipate in a little bit, but at least for the time being, it wasn't that big of a deal. Taking a couple hits, it's fine. I'll be able to heal up when I go to Graveyard later on. If I need to go to a food shop, I can always go to a food shop, and that's why I like having these options there. And so it's kind of the same thing, right? Like, I want to make sure that this Impaler is going to attack in a spot where I'm not going to be, because he attacks where you currently are instead of where you're going to be. It's all about anticipating that attack and then just moving forward. That is probably the biggest part about this level. Now I'm going to be teleporting over to the challenge rune. I did see it earlier. I wanted to wait till the end of the level till I got to 60, and then at that point I was just like, yeah, let's just kill all the enemies and then just do this one later. I'm doing pretty good on health and stuff like that, and plus I have Masochist. Worst case scenario is that I'm going to take 10% from any of these traps going forward. For some reason I didn't take Masochist before. I can't explain why. I think it was just a matter of me not typically taking Masochist, but on this build, there's really nothing else to take. You can take something like Instinct of the Master of Arms, which I was taking in my previous runs, but I figured that I might as well take Masochist just because, you know, I've taken so many hits at this point. I don't really want to suffer anymore, if that makes sense. And plus I already took a hit in the challenge rune, and I figured, okay, if I grab another one, I don't want to take 30%. So let's just finish this off, and now we're gonna go fight the Conjunctivius. And the idea is we're gonna slow her down a lot with the ice shards, and from there we're just gonna go to town on her. Her little aura attack is actually very much delayed, so you have a lot of time to be able to get off of there. Against the tentacles, I actually employ a new strategy. So instead of attacking the moving tentacle, I attack the stationary ones. And it's because I have a very fast weapon with me, and it's able to do a lot of damage, and it has a lot of really interesting horizontal movement. So that's kind of why I made that strategy at that point. I hadn't actually done it in my previous runs. I took the same path in every one of my runs just to be able to say that, okay, I was able to do this completed run with like no strings attached. And that's why I kept going to Kanji every single time. But again, you see me doing the same exact thing, just going after the tentacle at stationary, and now we're down to 2. Then I can just start moving away, let the turrets do their job. Tesla Coil was the unsung hero of this entire build because it took care of all the flying enemies, it took care of Kanji, it took care of the tentacles when I was away. It just did so much for me, and it paired with the flame turret is an unbelievable combination, especially if you get synergy with each other. The 40% to electricity, the 40% to burn, 100% to burning oil, whatever you get, it's always amazing. I do get the kill off on Kanji, get the no hit, very nice to get that, felt good. But the real challenge was yet to come because I had just taken a hit from the caster. I didn't show it in the clip because it was kind of a weird situation and the game just kind of sputtered a little bit for me. I've been having frame rate issues in the game and I am getting a new computer. But at that point, I figured I just want to complete this run. Almost get hit by the kamikaze. That would have been really bad. But Tesla Coil comes and saves the day from the little enclave of kamikazes. I'm definitely not using the right word there because I am not a grammar person. What are they called? Grammaticians? I have no idea. A doctor of grammar, PhD in grammar. I'm none of those things. So yeah, anyways. So Slumbering Sanctuary is going well though. That was the only hit that I took, was that hit against the caster, and we're just moving on. And one thing that happened was that I started to get impatient with mobs because they would teleport towards me, but because they're slowed, they take even longer to do that. And at this point, I'm just like, oh my god, can we just speed this up, please? Because I'm getting impatient, which isn't fair at all, because I'm literally running a build that's designed to slow down enemies and do damage based on that slowdown. Very irrational on my part, but it is what it is. We do take the curse, and now it's go time, because we've got this curse. We're in Slumbering Sanctuary, which is one of the hardest curses in the game, next to the Prison Depths curse and the Corrupted Prison curse. And because this duelist is shielded, I just drop the turrets, aggro her, and then just get the kill off from there. And then I take care of the shield dummy, and then from there, now I'm just going to pick up the scroll, take care of the demons, because demons are absolutely scary. And so I want to target these guys first, take them both out. And unfortunately, one of the things with Sanctuary is that you don't know if there's going to be an elite when the doors open, because they're shadows, so there's no way to find out unless you are really astute in looking at the shadows. I am not one of those people. I barely avoided duelist even after that, so it was just one of those things. It was just like, I had close call after close call after close call, but I was able to get through it all. I do see this Ram Rune here. The Bombardiers are not in range to throw their bombs, and so now I'm going to use the Ram Rune on the Golem, clear out the curse like that. Very stylish, very awesome to get a curse clear like that. And we're just going to jump right into the Sepulcher, and we get the curse right at the beginning. There was really nothing after the curse in Sanctuary, so now we're in the Sepulcher, and we got to get these kills off. But the thing is, there was a lot of dead space, so you are going to see some speed ups during the course of this curse. I wait up there for a second because sometimes there can be enemies in Sepulcher on a long path and you don't necessarily always see them. I am really scared of the mummies. I always forget their names. I believe they are called corpulent zombies, but I always forget their names. He's gonna jump towards me and I'm just like, nope, just noping out of all of that completely. They have ended all of my curses in Sepulcher recently. Either they've ended it or they've put me in a position to end it. Basically, they make me roll somewhere and then I end up dealing with a terrible attack. So we are speeding up the footage at a certain point. It's going to be in about 5 to 10 seconds. And again, it's just I'm walking around a lot. I'm finding hidden stuff. And I just don't want to waste your guys' time here. And so now we're just trying to find these enemies, but we're so early in the level and I've gotten the key. I need to go unlock the key door now. You can see me kind of figuring out what I want in the shop. What I was looking for was a 100% damage ice shards, but I actually didn't find one throughout the run. So I just stuck with the 50% at full health and I was like, I should just not get hit. And that was something I had to kind of stick to. But now I'm at 100%. Now the ice shards are going to be doing a lot more damage. And now again, we're just trying to find the rest of these enemies. And I get distracted, find a bunch of stuff, and then we just keep moving forward. And then now, I do apologize for the glitches. That's just what happens on the speed up. But now we're going to see the rest of the enemies. I do hop into 3 cell door because I know there's going to be enemies. I see an elite corpulence on me, and I'm like, nope, not doing that. So we just back out of there. And we do see an Inquisitor, get the kill off on that. But there's another corpulent zombie, and then he teleports towards me, and then he jumps towards me, and I almost die. Oh my god, that was scary. I was definitely having like heart palpitations at that point, but I do get the kill off on the Inquisitor after that, and then the last Inquisitor can't see me because I'm invisible due to Predator. Finally clear the curse off, take care of the rest of these baddies, and then we're moving on. That was the last curse in the game, because the way that Sepulcher works is that there's 3 scroll fragments, and I had 1 heading into there, so that'll leave me with an even amount of scroll fragments. So if I go fight Giant, that'll give me 4, drop me back down to 0. And then I can go fight Hand of the King. So that was the last curse in the game. And Sepulcher, I typically don't bank on having a second curse. There are certain ways in which this level is structured, and you're going to be able to see certain things at certain times. And if the curse comes at the very beginning, typically you might see one later on. But now that Sepulcher is different, I don't really know how that configures. But anyways, we're just trying to figure out this mob, and Kamikazes can be tricky, but Predator makes it a lot easier because it allows you to reset and then kind of refocus your position and figure things out from there. I'm able to just get all the kills off on these mobs, just good movement. I've gotten a lot better with the meat skewer movement. Honestly, this run may have had 5 failed attempts or 4 failed attempts before this, but my meat skewer movement was definitely a lot better at that point. Now we're headed to Giant, Tesla Coil, and Flame Turret. just absolutely walls him, hits both hands at the same time, and you can see me, I've already gotten him down to half health, and I'm gonna get the kill off from there. Super short. And I just kind of made quick work of the giant. Hand of the king, we're just going to jump straight into that because I just decided, okay, even amount of scroll fragments, let's go to hand of the king. And again, drop both the turrets, and then I'm going to do my meat skewer once, wait for him to do his next attack. If it was like the 3-strike combo, then I have to kind of wait. But he drops the flag, hit him a bunch of times. Now the enemies come, turrets take care of him quickly, and now I'm just going to keep wailing off just because he keeps putting the flags down. He does not attack me once outside of the initial first strike. So really good hand of the king fight. Very proud of myself on that one. I did die on the previous attempt to hand of the king, so it felt nice to get some retribution and a very quick no kill, making him look like kind of a joke. And honestly, this build is kind of making a lot of these enemies look like a joke. And then I almost fall in Astrolab once again. If you guys saw my clip, then you know why. I paused the game because, again, heart palpitations and, yeah, not fun. But you can see the speed up, and it would have been funnier if I had actually made a joke on this channel for once and been like, no, this is just how fast I was going, but I didn't think of it. But anyways, we're just mauling through enemies. That's why I'm just going as fast as I can on this. And again, with this mob, it's just I'm able to jump, dodge, do everything that I'm supposed to be doing. It's like that movie Dodgeball with the 5 tenets of Dodgeball. I do not remember what they are. Don't ask me to say them. But last boss of the game, Collector, and we're just gonna start wailing off on him right away. He's gonna do the spinny thingy, and I'm just gonna roll. I have him down to no health, but then the boss fight doesn't work like that. So I just gotta keep hitting him, wait for the heals. He only will drop the Panacea after the third heal. He'll do the 3 heals, and then he'll drop the Panacea. Heals again, and then I'm like, I can get a third one here. I don't have to deal with these enemies in the separate room, so I can keep firing off. I get that third heal. This build has ridiculous synergy, like so much synergy going all the way around. I get a little bit cocky, and I'm just kind of like doing a little dance on the floor, and then I just keep wailing off on him. And then he's going to do his big slam, able to avoid it just in time, jump over all the bombs, and then avoid his laser 3 times. Now he's going to drop the Panacea, and then I'm going to grab it, use my emergency triage to be able to get him down to 0. He'll do the down slam one more time, 1 skewer, finish it off, and that is the run. And it was the biggest relief to be able to finally get a win. And I think one of the differences that was made was that I didn't have a 100% damage taken and received ice shards, and that probably helped me out a lot because I did take a hit somewhere in Astrolab, but it was pretty small for the most part. But even considering scrolls, I didn't have as many as I did in the other runs, and I was still able to get a lot of damage off. And it's one of those things, like, it's so easy to build synergy on this because all you need to do is you have an ice shards, then all you need to do after that is just get a meat skewer with inflammable oil, and then if you get that 30% to slow down targets, then that's just a bonus on top of it. And if you get any sort of affix on the ice shards, that's also a bonus. Like if you get something with like electricity damage or burning oil damage, then you just grab whatever skills you need with you. It works really well with the Predator and Initiative combo, and then you can choose whatever you want in the last slot. You just got to be really careful about certain things because, especially in levels like Astrolab and Ramparts, where there's a lot of pitfalls, you got to be really careful. And that's just kind of a meat skewer thing in general. But I was really relieved and happy to grab this one. It was one of my stronger wins that I've had. So I am going to be moving on to bigger and better things in the game. I do have an explosive crossbow run that I cannot wait to show you guys. I had a lot of fun with it. But I do want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch my content. And I hope you enjoyed the 2.0 review. I hope that a lot of the things I said made sense in it. And I will again leave a link to my friend's donation site in the description and in the comments. If you did like the video and want to see more stuff like this, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more Dead Cells content. And I'll see you all later. Have a great night, everybody, and stay safe out there.